No, 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 no. That sounds great, but I'm not interested right now. When is the right time to start turning down clients, and which clients should you be turning down? We're gonna talk about that in today's video. So let's just jump into it. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, my name is Jonathan Moore. I'm a photographer and filmmaker, and I like to make videos like these where I share tips and resources that I'm using in my freelance and creative business for other freelancers and creators out there who are trying to build a life on their terms and get it how they live. So if you like videos like that, make sure that you subscribe to the channel, smack that like button, and leave me a comment. Let me know where you're at on your freelance journey right now. So today's main topic is going to be talking about when you should start turning down work. Now, I know that this can be a sensitive topic, especially for those who are out there who are just getting started. You're brand new to, building your freelance business. Now, when you're first starting initially, you want to get as many clients as you can. You're trying to get as many people in the door. You're doing free work. You know how I feel about doing free work, but at this stage of the game, when you're just getting started, doing free work is absolutely fine. Remember, right now, if you're just starting, you're at the stage where you're trying to build up your portfolio. And so you're trying to get as much content as you can out there so you can market to potential customers or clients later. Now, if you already got your business up and flowing, maybe you got a couple of clients that you're working with on a regular basis, maybe you're just getting started, things are starting to trickle in. One of the pitfalls that you can fall into, especially when you're first getting started, is just random jobs. And when I say random jobs, I mean like odd jobs. When you first get started, you might shoot something like a wedding. You might shoot, a model shoot for one of your friends who has a t-shirt design company. You might end up shooting, I don't know, kids at, a soccer game, like those pictures that they put on like the covers of magazines and stuff. You can end up doing, all types of stuff when you're first getting into the game, especially when you're freelancing. It could just be kind of like people know that you do photography, they know that you do video, so they're like, oh, you do video, like you can like film my kid's soccer game, right? Oh, you do video, like you can film my wedding. Oh, you do video, like you can film like my bat mitzvah. Oh, you do video, like I got this great YouTube channel idea. And this is where it just starts to get hectic. Now, one of the things that I'm going to suggest is that you always niche down. So the first tip when you're turning down work is that if it's not in your niche. What I mean by niche is that it's just your specific thing that you like to do. And some people are better at things than others. For example, maybe you like to take pictures, like scenic pictures, you like to do landscapes or something along those lines. But maybe you don't like to do portraits, but maybe, but then again, you might have someone who's really good at portraits, but maybe they don't do kids portraits, maybe they do dog portraits, right? So stick to your niche, stick to your vertical, because that's the quickest way to scale, you know what I mean? When you start getting involved in all types of stuff, the delivery of your content isn't going to be consistent, because sometimes you don't have an eye for everything. You don't have a passion for everything. You don't see things how other people might see them. And that's totally fine. But once you start jumping all out of your lane and you're doing this type of job and that type of job, and a lot of times they don't even compensate all that great when they're so random, because it's not like you're known for this specific thing, right? Like you're not known for taking great portraits of dogs. Right? That's like a specific thing. Like you're just like, oh, you're known as the guy or the girl who has a camera and you can shoot my wedding, or you can shoot my engagement photos, or you can shoot my birthday, or something along those lines. So tip number one is to be niche. You can't be everything to everybody. Just be good at what you're good at and do the things that you like. Now let's talk about tip number two. Tip number two, when you should start turning down work or you should turn away a potential client, is when they are not qualified. And what does qualified mean? Qualified means that they got money. Now, if they ain't got no money, that means they're not qualified. Now, I know that this one could be a heartbreaker right here. And now, once again, there's always an exception to the rule. If it's a really good friend of mine and I'm like, yeah, dude, I'll help you out, man. Ain't no big thing. But if I'm talking to like a business or maybe even a business owner, and if they're like, they're talking about like, the lingo. If they're sounding like they ain't got no money, trust and believe they ain't got no money. And you don't want to sit there and just waste your time with people who don't have the money to pay what you want to be paid. Once again, in the beginning, I know that this can be tricky because you're like, oh man, I don't want to like let go of this work, or, I know I could use that extra whatever, $100 or whatever the case may be. But oftentimes you'll waste time with that particular client and you'll miss a better opportunity that can come along. Now, I'm not saying sit here and be a snob and just be like turning people down left and right, but really, I mean, like, think about it. If they have no money, what's the point? Dude, like, if this is what you're doing and this is the service you're providing and you're providing it to get paid, then they need to pay you. Now, if it's something that you feel that you want to do for free and you want to contribute, maybe you're working with like a nonprofit, maybe you're working with a charity, maybe you're working with some type of a cause, and you're like, you know what, like, I want to contribute to that, and maybe you don't have money, but maybe you want to contribute your work, your photography, you want to help them get seen, perfectly fine. But if somebody's coming to you and they're asking you to help them out with a project and they don't have any money to fund it, but they can, you know, maybe hook you up on the back end or something, nah, don't do it. Nothing moves until the money moves. Remember that. And tip number 3 would be if you don't like the person. Now listen, I know that this might sound crazy because, like, the reality is we work with people all the time that we don't necessarily like. Some of us, right? Now, if you're working at a regular job, you often have coworkers that you like, and then there's people that you really don't care for that much. Let's not say you don't like them, you just don't care for them that much, right? Now, either way, oftentimes you have to work with them, you have to learn to get along with them. It's the same thing like when you're going to school. You're in school and you got a couple of friends and then a couple of other kids that, you know, it's not like you don't like them, you just don't care for them, or maybe you don't like them, you know, sometimes that's possible. But either way, you know, you have to be there, right? That's your classroom. You have to be in that classroom. You have to be at that job. You have to be on that shift with that annoying mother. That's right there. You know what I'm saying, right? All right, but whatever. So here's the difference. When you're doing freelance work, you get to choose who you want to work with. So if you don't like the client, you don't have to like the client and you don't have to work with them. It's completely your option. So you should turn people down that you don't like. And if you don't like what they stand for, you don't like what they're doing, maybe they have the funds to pay you. Now this is where it can get tricky because they might have the necessary money to pay you. But then again, man, you have the option. And if you're working with somebody that you don't like, it's always going to reflect in the work. So always try to align with people that you like. Now, here's the caveat. It's very time sensitive. It's going to be something that's really quick, in and out, boom, boom, boom. No problem. But if you're going to be working with somebody on a constant, like continual basis for a while, you know, a couple, you know, long time to come, you got to make sure that you like that person. Because if you don't like them, then it's not going to work. And now my bonus tip is you should turn down work if it is out of your league, which means that if somebody comes to you with a project that you cannot handle, you need to turn it down and just be honest about it, because you don't want to overpromise and underdeliver. That is always just the worst. And remember, if you're a freelancer, you're a business owner, you're trying to, you know, build up your business, you're also trying to build up your reputation too. So you don't want to be known as somebody who just like is a hype man, like you overpromise stuff and then you underdeliver. And the problem is with that is that is like kind of rampant right now, especially with social media. You have so many people who overpromise and underdeliver like on the regular. So you don't want to be that person. Stand apart from the crowd. If you can handle a job, it's out of your league, you either need to pass on it or you need to start connecting with other photographers, filmmakers, people in your industry that could help you with a project. So if something does come along and you can't handle it, but you know somebody who can, then you can either refer the job to them, or you know, you can take the job and bring it to them and you can work on it together, and then you'll learn how to handle a project of that size and scale. So that's it for me today, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If so, make sure that you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys got going on. So for all my people out there who are trying to get it how they live and build a life on their terms, until next time, people, peace. I'm out.